what does hope look like in the face of mass incarceration, sexual assault, all the things, the climate crisis, like literally the list is endless, right?
Hope tells me that the trauma and grief that we experience in our lives and in our world, while very real, is not the end.
In a world where we see so much suffering and pain all around us, I think one of the challenges is that we forget to bring our humility into our practices of hope.
This is the part where it kind of hits up against disillusionment and struggle around hope and a little bit of hopelessness.
We could look at just one issue, and I mean, which is impossible because all of these issues are related and they all have to do with feelings of disconnection from each other. They all have to do with supremacy and thinking that we have to use violence to solve problems. They all stem from a way of looking at each other like we're just resources, that the land is just a resource for us to use. So these problems seem innumerable and immense, and having hope seems like the least logical thing to do. Like, why all of the odds are stacked against us. There's like very little way that we're going to get ourselves out of this mess and all of these messes. And sometimes I can even catch myself thinking that, like, I look at the climate science and it's like we are up against the wall. I look at statistics around Black mothers dying at 3 times the rate of white mothers. Like, I mean, it's just, the statistics are so depressing. But hope is the thing that says, okay, yes, these statistics are true and factual. Like, we're not going to not use our brains. But hope is something that's like logic plus, that we're like, and I still believe in something, and I still have hope for something. And so having hope is one of the most subversive acts that we can take part in. And it's crucial. It's actually the only thing that's going to keep us alive, because if we only operate from our minds, then we're going to die. Then we're going to just kill each other off, and we're going to keep on destroying this planet if we're only operating from our minds. And so hope is integrating something else. It's integrating the heart, it's integrating the body, moving ourselves into action, from the smallest actions to the greatest actions. That's hope. So be a radical and have hope.
Hope says there is a tomorrow, and that tomorrow doesn't have to be today. And it might take a lot of tomorrows to get there, but hope is the fuel that motivates me to dismantle a school to prison pipeline. Hope fuels me to move beyond thoughts and prayers to action that dramatically reduces gun violence. Hope inspires me to literally save the world, reducing my plastic intake, conserving water, and making intentional choices for a more sustainable future for this whole thing we've got around us. Hope tells me that even in the midst of all of this isn't the end, and there's a tomorrow that can be better than a today, and hope motivates me to find like-minded people to work together to bring that future into the present. Yeah, hope is eschatological, I guess. Eschatology is end times thing, but hope for me is an inaugurated eschatology, bringing that future into the present. It's like time travel. It lets us grab that and take it here. We have a glimpse of it now, so we can then live into it more and more into the future. Ooh, I like that. It's like Back to the Future Hope Edition.
If we have an awareness that the world has never been perfect, and that it never will be so long as humans are involved, we no longer carry the burden of feeling like it's our job to make the world perfect. If that's our goal, we'll never be happy. So hope to me is being humble enough to recognize that our goal is not perfection, but for betterment. That's both attainable and empowering.
I grew up in a household with an abusive parent, and one of the lines that my parent would say to me when they were really, really mad was, "I'm big, you're little, I win, you lose." And this phrase was drilled into my head over and over and over. And I remember, even as a young kid, thinking, well, that may or may not be true. I have no idea whether I can actually win, but I know that I don't want to live in a world where the automatic truth is that just because someone's bigger or they have more power or they're willing to use more violence or they have more money or control, that means that they automatically get to win, and that the needs of the small ones, of the many, are not able to be victorious. And so since I was little, I've been really putting my life force behind that belief that when we come together, and this is the theory of community organizing, that the power of the many can overcome the power of the elite few that are enacting policies and realities that are decimating our planet and the most vulnerable people among us. It might be true that we're not going to win some of these reforms. It is true every single day that we lose people to mass incarceration and to deportation, and folks who die for lack of health care, and folks who get shot by the police. I mean, we do lose every day. And yet there's a piece of the hope that does feel within my control, which is that even though those losses are happening, it gives me hope that we can decide together that we are not willing and not going to live in a world where we just accept those brutalities and those injustices and the lack of regard for one another's humanity, but that we actually work really hard to come together and to try to fight for and embody a more just way of being together.